How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. So today is going to be all about patch week and the patch notes, just in case you guys kind of glazed over it or didn't look at them at all or didn't know if some of them were significant. I'm here to explain to you why some of these updates are really awesome and very much needed for Runescape. So I'm super happy with today's patch notes and everything, and I just got to have some coffee and get excited to discuss this with you. So here we go, everybody. So we got first right here, probably the most exciting thing of the entire thing is something we very much needed, and I was really unsure of why we didn't have it before, but now we have the Orb of the Cywir, probably Cywir Elders, and it is a tier 85 offhand that can drop from Hellwire. So get your butts over to Hellwire because those things are probably going to be kind of expensive since they are brand new. Also, it's very much needed because we finally have the matching pair, because previously we just had the Cywir wand, which is a really cool wand and everything, but it had nothing to go with it, really. You just had to mix and match it with something else, so this is pretty awesome. Next, we have the active scrimshaws can now be removed without needing to be turned off. That is pretty cool, actually, if you ever use scrimshaws and you were kind of annoyed by having to, it's just kind of a pain in the butt to take them off. Now that's going to fix that. Very cool. Next thing, and this is pretty awesome. I think this might help with the so-called like tick lag that you get when you're doing combat. I think this might help with that a little bit. But the channeled combat abilities can now be halted by clicking away, preventing some nasty Ripper Demon-related deaths. I think that might also affect some other things too, like making responses to Hellwire's attacks and other things like that maybe maybe a little bit more effective and a little bit easier to handle, because some of the RuneScape combat stuff can be kind of irritating, like the Ripper Demon stuff they're discussing here. So this is going in a good step. Next thing, you can now right-click effigies to select skills. That's pretty awesome because it was kind of annoying to have like a few effigies and be like, which one of these was construction again? So that's solved. The next thing right here, guys, is a really big one. It's also a really big one for like my type of channel because this channel is a lot about increasing your wealth and whatnot. It's about all kinds of fun stuff like coffee and other things like that. But anyway. This is pretty awesome, and this is something you should definitely be paying attention to. This right here is saying that the following shops will now restock at the game reset. What that means is there's no more like guessing of whether or not you're going to have a stock fully stocked. It's also going to make it nice so that you can just choose like a time of day and then go do it, and then you know that you have to wait till reset to do it again. So they did say that they're going to try to. It's later in the patch notes they kind of discussed this about saying that they want to get all the shops to be like this. I think this is a really good idea. The whole like restocking slowly thing it's useful in its own way because you can buy up all the things, and then if you really need to get those items, you can like slowly buy them again. But with how the fact that most of the items in the game are traded through the GE, that's not really as useful as it used to be. It used to be much more useful because you would be buying stuff from shops way more often, so for them to slow stock was beneficial because you can just sit there and get stuff. But this is really awesome. I think as far as like trying to time it out and trying to just be efficient with your shop raids, I think this is definitely going in the right direction. So I'm actually really excited to see that, and honestly you should be too. The next thing here, and we're going to I'll go through the patch notes. I've got a whole bunch of the same tabs here because I've got the things highlighted. So we got right here, fishermen have found their way to the docks in Menifos. Now you can partake in Fish Flingers D&D. This is really awesome news for people who need to do some Fish Flingers because now you can access it there. For the most part, Fish Flingers, I feel like, is something that you do pre-99 or even pre-90. So for it to be in Menifos was kind of necessary, and it's going to be a really great way to help out mid-level players. Next thing, strange rocks are going to be attained from all fishing spots. That's nice because there was some areas that like you just didn't get a strange rock or a pet chance or anything like that, so that's nice they did fix that. Acadia logs now have the same junk chance as magic logs when disassembling. So this actually has a little bit more of an impact than you may think. Here's the thing. Acadia logs have already caused magic logs to kind of drop. And just the logs from Menifos in general, like they're causing the stuff from like the corrupted logs from drops and everything. Those are causing the magic logs to kind of slip down in value. So I've had a lot of people that message me right now. Actually, a lot of people have been messaging me, and this is kind of message to you guys. And I do like to try to answer your questions in these videos. I get people that ask, so magic logs are really low right now. Should I invest in them? One of the main things I can say about that, in trying to keep this short, is number one. an item that is that common is not usually something that's a great idea to invest in unless you're planning on holding it very long term, and don't really have any rush to make your money back or make your profit. And number two, they're dropping for a reason. They're dropping because these Menaphos logs are actually killing them. This right here is also going to be pushing those magic logs down as well, because of the fact that the same jump chance means that people can now disassemble Acadia logs instead of disassembling magic logs if somebody wants to get very fast components as opposed to doing maple or yew logs, and those people are out there. So there's that. Let's just keep that in mind. It's not a huge impact, guys. It's not a huge impact, but some stuff to keep in mind. I like to tell you guys that kind of stuff, because I feel like that's what you guys want to hear. So here we go. The casket salvaging scrimshaw will now work in fishing in Menaphos. That's pretty cool. It's a good way to try that out. And the polishing perk will now work in fish caught in Ports District in Menaphos. There'll be a slight way to boost up your EXP per hour. Because I'm pretty sure that polishing will give you the EXP for the new fish. Honestly, I don't remember. Put that in the comments below if you know if it gives you the EXP for the new fish or the old fish. I don't really remember. If it only gives the EXP for the old fish, which it might be, then this isn't really that significant, since the fish in the Menaphos are not really worth much anyway, and you shouldn't be banking them. Next thing here, guys, boxing gloves can no longer be dismantled. So, if I didn't know about why that is, then I probably would have been laughing when I read that. So, boxing gloves were something that people would go in their player-owned house and start disassembling a whole bunch of them, because they would try to get Swift components for free by doing boxing gloves. The thing is, boxing gloves has extremely high jump chance, so I don't really know why they bothered to do this, but apparently there was enough people that were sitting in their house doing the Swift components method that they decided to go ahead and kill that. So that's the reason why boxing gloves are removed. Here we go. It is now possible to extend portables, the extend portable option on your portable object. Good God, that's a lot of portable. That's pretty nice, because that just makes it a more simplified experience. Because a lot of times when you're trying to use portables and whatnot, then it's one of those things where you don't want to waste any more time than you have to waste. So that's really good news to hear. Let's see. You can now buy and sell the following teleports in the Grand Exchange. So this is huge. This is actually really big. The Imperial District, Merchant, Port District, Worker District, Sophonim Slayer Dungeon, and Shifting Tombs. This is really, really, really big news, especially for you guys out there that are really interested in doing like some investing and flipping. The fact that these teleports are now able to go on the Grand Exchange, there's going to be very few of them in the beginning, so it might, well, not might, but it's definitely going to open up some nice margins for flips. So you can definitely consider flipping these for a short time until they kind of die. I should probably say that too, is that there's a good chance that these teleports will slowly go down, because people will throw them in the Grand Exchange after making them. So just be aware that's high risk if you're going to be getting into that. Next thing here, guys, is an Into the Ninja fixes. You can now disassemble crystal blossoms for a chance of crystal parts. This is huge. This is something that I actually saw on Twitter, and I was really excited they're going to be doing it. So basically what they're going to be doing now is exactly like it says. You now have a second use for the crystal blossoms, the crystal tree blossoms. So previously, crystal tree blossoms were mostly used to make the perfect plus potion, but now you can use them to get crystal parts. So if you already have a ton of crystal perfect plus potions, which by the way, one perfect plus potion being 6 doses lasts for 24 hours. 6 times 4, 24. So even if you played 24 hours straight every single day of your life, which is probably not going to happen, when you have the quiver for Prif, you are able to get 2 crystal tree blossoms per day, which means you would always be left with 1 extra crystal tree blossom no matter what. Now you could do those for EXP, just making those perfect plus potions, but now this is a far more efficient use for that extra crystal tree blossom, because you truly do not need to get that many perfect plus potions. The realistic player of RuneScape is going to be playing 8 hours or less per day, and the chances of you actually using a perfect plus in every single minute of those days is not too likely. So honestly, 1 perfect plus potion is enough to last an average player about 5 or 6 days. And that's only if you're actually using those benefits from the Juju potions, which the perfect Juju potion benefits are really nice, but we just don't need them that much. So we end up with a lot of extra crystal tree blossoms. So this is an awesome, amazing use. Thank you so much, guys at Jagex, for doing that. Next thing here, active spells now have a red outline for main hand spell and a yellow outline for offhand spell selected. That is actually really awesome. It's really awesome because previously it was just like, like it was kind of hard to tell whether you had stuff selected or not selected, and then let alone if you had one in the right hand or left hand and all that kind of stuff. So simplification, definitely nice. That one's not really a big deal, and I already talked about the effigies. Next one here. All right, the spell Crystal Mask can now be cast again to refresh the effect before the buff expires. That is actually really awesome. If any of you guys use Crystal Mask when you're doing pickpocketing, then you can probably be with me when you're saying there's lots of times where you wish you could refresh it, and now you can. So that's pretty awesome. Now you'll actually be able to do that. You can essentially spam Crystal Mask apparently. So hey, look, there you go. Magic training, anybody? Hey, I might look into that. You know what? I think I'm gonna look into that. We'll see how much EXP that is. Alright guys, quick lodestone teleports now, play override landing animations, which is nice. We get to use more of our animations. Next thing here that kind of makes significant news, players can now give inventory to a Beast of Burden familiar by using the familiar menu or by setting the left click option on the summoning button. That's great. There needs to be better ways than just dragging them over. It's kind of a pain to put items into your Beast of Burden while you're in the middle of combat, especially if you're doing like Abyssal Demons or something like that, where you're constantly beating things down. You don't really ever have time to right-click your familiar or go in your familiar or whatever and store it. Like it's not smooth. It takes it's kind of a pain. The best way that I was doing it previously was having my Beast of Burden familiar menu open, like familiar details open, and then just dragging them over from my inventory, which is fine, but having more options is definitely going to be great. And if I can actually use a left click option on the summoning button, so it's kind of like using like a winter storage scroll is kind of how I'm envisioning it, that's awesome. So really happy about that. And then this is kind of funny. There is now less chat when paying Sanabok to enter the Brimhaven dungeon. So Sanabok is probably one of the richest players in the entire game, an NPC. That's because you got to pay his butt every time you want to go into Brimhaven dungeon. So hey, it's nice that we got less chat. He's too rich, guys. He can't talk that much anymore. Next thing right here is Luck Rings now improve the rare drop table for Soften and Slayer dungeon creatures. That is great. That is pretty awesome because that gives us more uses for our new Luck Rings. And that also just makes these Soften and Slayer dungeon creatures a little bit more profitable because they are not the greatest. They're not terrible. I don't really think they're that terrible, unlike a lot of people think. But this definitely assists with getting more money. It was just kind of rough that you can make more money on the level 85 to level 95 Slayer monsters than you could on the Soften and Slayer dungeon creatures. It doesn't make any sense. So hopefully they can kind of adjust that. Anyway. The daily limit was removed from the Aiding the Exile event, so that is the the coin gathering event. It's that the daily limit event like the RuneScape has been doing a lot of, which I actually enjoy those, and I'm really happy that the daily limit was removed. Good. The thing with that is that I feel like they should all be removed. Like I understand that from Jageg's business point of view, it's nice to have a daily limit because that makes people have to play every day. But if you go on vacation or something like that, and you come back and you're like, oh no, I'm missing a day. Well, then that is when they usually want you to buy bonds to be able to improve your limit. But it's nice that they do stuff like this on this one because this doesn't put a paywall. It also allows a lot of flexibility for the players, and I definitely want good things for our players because I'm part of the player base. Well, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching this. This is all about the patch notes and everything like that. I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Yeah, because we have a video every single day. So I really hope you guys enjoyed these new patch notes. I'm gonna go test out that new magic training method that could be a training method, and we'll see how it goes. Let me know how you guys feel about these new fixes in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, have a good one.